We are live. We're live. Good evening, everybody. And I'm live with, I know, with my natural hair out, right? We're live. We're live. I hope you had an amazing day. And I promise you that I have been trying to come live all day, but it has been one busy day in a good way. Very, very busy, very productive. And I am so excited to be here online with you all now. And so, as you're logging on, one of the things that I want to speak about, and I'm not going to wait for people to get here because the good thing about this is that you'll always be able to go back and hear it from the beginning. But as you're logging on, tonight, it's really in my heart that we talk about the four stages of life. I am a Generation X. Um, I don't know why somebody thought I was a baby boomer earlier. I'm like, I'm only 50, right? But I was born in 1972. And so if you are joining on tonight, I am hoping that you too are a Generation X, or maybe you know someone who is a Generation X. And, at this stage of our life, although no, we're not old, no one's thinking, oh, we're kicking the bucket or anything like that. But the reality of it is that we're on the other side of life. And at this point of the other side of life, we've got to start thinking about some things. Like when we're thinking about these four stages of life. And I want to play a video because there's a gentleman now. I want to preface this by saying he uses some flowery language in parts of this video. I'm going to need you all to excuse that, right? I'm going to need you all to excuse that because I need you to listen to and hear the meat of what he is saying. All right. I'm going to need you to listen to and hear the meat of what he's saying. Because here's the reality, right? Let's think about it. And I'm speaking specifically right now to the moms. Moms, we have raised our children, right? And now, not that maybe you're not raising your grandchildren, but your grandchildren are now, you've got grandchildren now, and some of you are caretakers to your parents, spouses, family members, and things like that. And you thought that once you got to this point of your life, that it was going to be like easy peasy, easy sailing, right? And you are now seeing that's not the case. Well, guess what? The reality of it is I don't believe that if you're 45, 50, 55, 60, like life is not over, right? Especially if you're 50. By the time that we turn 50, we are at a place now where we are really starting to understand ourselves. We're really at a place where we know what we want. You're really at a place where you are no nonsense, right? You're no nonsense. And so, good evening as you're logging on. Let me know what city, what state, and or what country you might be logging in from. I am Nina Moore, and I am excited that you may have stopped by to listen to this live tonight, or maybe you're coming back to watch the replay. And so, Generation X, now it's like, what about me? What about me? And what I've found from all of the women that I speak to worldwide is that they're now either close to 50, in their 50s, and they still at this point right now have no idea what their purpose is in life, because all of their life they've been a caretaker, all of their life, right? And so I know that I was put on this earth to help women to redefine, especially Gen X people, right? Your Gen X ladies, especially now. It's like, who am I? Who am I? Right? How do I tell my story now? What do I do with my life? How do I leave a legacy, to my children and my children's children? There's a good book that I read that talks about that, right? And you're at this stage of your life where you're wondering, now, where do I go? Where do I turn? What do I do? Maybe you're disgusted because maybe you're feeling like you didn't accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish in life, because that could very well be the case as well. Maybe you're like, I did not accomplish everything that I wanted to in my life, and now I'm at a place where I'm feeling like stuck. If there's any of you that are feeling like stuck, then let me know, drop some comments in the chat, drop some comments on YouTube, because I 100% understand the way you feel. What I'm very excited about is that I have my inner circle with my ladies starting on February the 1st, right? Where I am taking a group of women that I am going to walk with personally for all of this year of 2023. And I am excited to see what is going to happen from their lives or in their lives and with their lives through, through our sessions together, through our times together, through my coaching them, because there are like, good evening, good evening, good evening. Please make sure you guys are tagging and sharing, making sure that people know that we are live. Please make sure you're tagging and you're sharing. I'm getting pretty good at this. I'm getting pretty good at knowing how to manage this. There we go. Please tag and share and listen. Make sure you are subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you're able to hear and see the comments live. I mean, you're able to know when I'm actually live, or when I go live, you'll get a notification. All right. So Nona, tag some people, let them know that they need to get on here, because I'm getting ready to play a video about the 4 stages of life. About the 4 stages of life. This is especially important to those of us that are, I'm 50, right? That are 50 and over, because we are not defined by our mistakes. Our past does not dictate our future. And we are now able to redefine and redesign our lives. Okay. Redefine, redesign our lives. And so, you guys, I've just been trying to tag a few people to let them know that I am on here live, so that they'll come live with us, because I don't want you to miss this video. Is amazing. And I don't want you to miss some of what this video is actually going to share. So it's super amazing. It's super dope. We're 7 minutes in this video. Good evening, Tibbs. What's up, Timmy Clark? So this video is super dope. Tag and share, right? Making sure that you're tagging, you tag and you share, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. So now, y'all, this is my first time ever actually playing a video while I am live on StreamYard. So y'all gotta bear with me, okay? Bear with me. I promise you, I'm gonna bless you. But this one was like, I had to practice a little bit. All right, so let's get to watching.
And the way I see it is, there are 4 different periods of our life that we enter and exit that kind of determine what our values are, what we choose to give a fuck about, you could say.
I told y'all to excuse that language, right?
Stage 1, I would call the mimicry stage, or as the philosopher Rene Girard calls it, mimesis. It's basically like humans, we copy each other, right? There's no really original ideas anymore. We see somebody else doing something cool, we want to do it too. It turns out that this is like a fundamental part of our psychology and our development, because it's, as children, it's how we learn to live. We learn how to talk by mimicking the sounds that we hear our parents make. We learn how to play games by mimicking what the other kids are doing. So all of our motor functions, our language skills, a lot of our knowledge, a lot of things that we care about, based on mimicry, based on achieving some standard set by others. And for a lot of us, this goes on well into late adolescence, early adulthood. If you think about the person they go to school and they want to be a doctor because that's what their parents want them to be. Or if they want to be a lawyer because all their friends are going to law school. This is the first stage of life. This is mimicry. And obviously there's a tension to that, because on the one hand, you get the approval and validation of the people around you, but on the other hand, you're having to give up your own desires and your own needs.
That was good. I hope y'all caught that.
So the second stage, I just call it exploration. Once we've kind of mimicked what the people around us do, and we've had some success with it, or maybe we've been denied, we start wondering, what do I want? How am I different from everybody else? What can I do that's different than everybody else? And so there's like this intense desire to differentiate yourself from everyone else around you. In some cases, this is by being more successful than other people. Sometimes it's by doing a bunch of weird, wacky shit. Sometimes it's by being more original or creative than everybody else. But basically, this is the desire to experience and express your individuality. And this generally happens for people in their early adulthood. If you look at people in their 20s, you know, they're trying out different careers. Maybe they spend a year abroad. They date a bunch of different types of people. They don't really know what they want. They're exploring life and trying to define an identity for themselves.
This is
I guess
so
the inherent
good.
tension with exploration, there's kind of a diminishing returns to it, right? Like I can travel to all these amazing places in the world, but the more I travel, the less interesting and exciting each subsequent trip will be. And the problem with exploration is that there's no stability. To constantly experience newness and novelty, you have to give up a rootedness. You have to give up consistency in your life. So whereas the problem with stage 1 is that you don't really know your own individual identity, the problem with stage 2 is that you have no stability in your life. And that leads us into stage 3. Once you've explored the world, you've discovered a lot of experiences for yourself, you've met a bunch of people, you come to stage 3, you decide to make commitments. You decide to commit to a place to live, commit to a career, commit to a person, commit to a family. Initially, these commitments are very scary. You're giving up the opportunity to explore more. You're giving up possibilities that you could potentially have. But the commitment stage is really like when we come to realize that if you're really going to do anything important or worthwhile in this world, you have to spend a lot of time and energy on it. Like if you're going to make an impact, you have to dedicate decades to it. And you can't be distracted by fun and wild and crazy stuff all over the place. Sometimes I refer to like that ability to commit to something. In a lot of ways, that is arriving at adulthood. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you care about, and you've organized your life in such a way to optimize for it. So the fourth stage of life, commit. I just call it legacy.
Here we go.
So when you've spent decades and decades committed to something, achieving something with your life, building a family, building a career, maybe get a building named after you, maybe you write a book, something else kicks in when you start to get old. That is, you want to preserve the importance of what you've done with your life, you know? So if you experience a lot of success in your career, you want to make sure that those things are going to stick around after you pass on. I'm a huge fan of Winston Churchill, and he had a great quote. He said that if you're not liberal when you're 20, you have no heart. If you're not conservative when you're 40, you have no brain. And it's sure enough, a lot of scientific research shows that people become more conservative the older they get. That's because of stage 4. Because once you start accomplishing all these things, once you've made your mark in the world, once you accumulate a lot of power, you want to make sure that it matters, that it sticks around, that even though you're getting old and decrepit and you can't keep up anymore, that the things that you did last longer than you do. So why do we care about the 4 stages? Well, I think there's 2 reasons. The first is that I just know that when I read this genre of psychology, it makes me a little bit more accepting of myself. It helps me understand like where my motivations come from, where my values come from. And the best part about understanding the stage that you're at, it kind of frees you to be unapologetic about it. If you're exploring, man, you can explore. Don't apologize for it. That's where you are in life right now. And not everybody's going to understand that because maybe they're at stage 3 or at stage 1. If you're at stage 3, give it your all. Commit everything to what matters to you. And yeah, your stage 2 friends will miss you at the parties, but you've moved on. Your priorities have changed. But the second thing, and I'd say arguably the most important thing, is that it makes us more understanding of each other. You know, we're not always in the same stage at the same time. And sometimes we slip back to previous stages. Maybe you get divorced, lose your job, start a new career, and that bumps you back to stage 2. Now you have to explore, find something new for yourself again to commit to. Maybe you're in stage 4, but the thing you worked on becomes obsolete. These stages are very fluid, and they kind of evolve throughout our lives. It's not that we go in a straight line, it's we kind of age in a loop-de-loop, if that makes sense. But basically, it's just understanding that we're all going through these tensions and these struggles, and that none of us is actually free of them, and that we all do the things that we do because we think they're the right things. What feels right at stage 4 will feel completely wrong at stage 2, and what feels right at stage 3 will feel completely wrong at stage 1. These tensions happen within society, and it prevents us from understanding each other. So ultimately, to me, the stages of life just help us be a little bit less shitty to each other. And that's always a good thing.
Woo! This is so good. This is so
Dude, it's days like these where I just want to like...
Hold on, let me figure out how to All right, now I can stop my sharing. Well, what do y'all think? What do you think? Now, here's the deal. You did hear him say that there could be things that happen in our lives that alters the stage of life that we are in. A person that goes through divorce is no longer in that committed stage and they are redefining life, right, Tammy Clark? Well, think about it. I'm 50. I moved companies, right? I'm in a new company. I'm starting new companies. And so I'm 50 in a committed stage, thinking about legacy, but back in stage 2 in exploration. Come on, y'all. And here's the thing, that at this stage of life, if you are a Gen X, then you need to be concerned about this phase of life, which is why I am so excited about my inner circle that's starting on February the 1st, because we're going to identify. I'm telling you, there are so many women, that we've got to help them now really understand who they are, even though, yeah, 50, right? 45, 50, 55, and still have no clue who we are. What is our gift to the world? What is our purpose? How do I even begin to tell my story? How do I make sure that I've got something in print to leave a legacy? Do you have anything in print that you can leave to your children to read, that you wrote, that's something that can comfort their hearts in a time of, dismay, when we're no longer here? Because, a lot of times we try to act like and live like we're going to be here forever, right? But the reality of it is that none of us can escape death. None of us can escape death. All we can do is plan to make sure that we're leaving a legacy for not just our children, but our children's children. So what stage of life are you in, or do you find yourself in? We're certainly not in the mimicking stage, where the mimicking stage was for babies up until young, until teens and before the 20s, where you're trying to figure it out, right? We certainly should not be 50 trying to all the way figure it out. We've got some understanding of who we are by the time we turn 50. Some, even though we may not fully be aware, because the reality of it is, if we were never taught, then we don't know, right? But with my inner circle, ladies, which is just for you, we start February 1st. I think it's so important now that we really start having those hard conversations, because now as a Gen X, right? Now we've got to really, really, really start being very, very focused on what we want to be remembered as. What do we want to be remembered for? What do we want to start right now? Because guess what? Anything dead belongs in the grave. And if you still have life, have breath, have activity of your limbs, guess what? Then you still have a gift to the world. And it is our job to not be selfish with it. It is our job to not be selfish with it. So life is not over. If you are still breathing, who are you going to serve? Whose life are you going to impact? Because the one thing that he said in the video, as he was talking about the 4 stages of life, he said impact, the ability to commit. But then he says all that's important is that it matters. You need to know that you matter. Your life matters. Your legacy, it matters. That it sticks. He said that it sticks, so that your story sticks. Ladies, this one's for you. And not that we were excluding our gentlemen, but this one is for you. This one was for you. And I hope that you enjoyed that video as much as I did. I had to share it because it really, 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 I thought it was powerful. It was simple but powerful. And it's going to, and I'm hoping that it's intriguing enough to make you think about what stage of life you're in, right? And also for you to know that there's some things that you might need to get a little speedier about, right? Speedy, yeah, right. Speed it up, right? Speed it up because it is still our job to make an impact. So Maybe you haven't made an impact yet. Maybe you haven't. You need to message me, right? And find out how you can be a part of my inner circle. If you're on Facebook with me at Nina Rochelle Moorer, make sure you send me a message. Find out how you can become a part of that inner circle and this year of personal coaching and mentoring with me as I'm going to help you. We're going to dig and we're going to we're going to dig and get that gold and pull it on out. All right, you guys, we're going to dig and we're going to dig deep and we're going to make sure that we totally understand and are aware of where we are in life, right? What our impact is going to be to the world, to the earth, to our family, to our legacy. What are we leaving them? What story are we leaving them? What do you want them to remember? What do you want the world to know you as? You know, when your eulogy is being given, is it just going to be that she was born on this date and died on this date? What about all of the in between? Would people know what you stood for by the way that you live your life? See, it's so important. It's so important. It's so important. So, ladies, maybe some gentlemen are stopping by to watch. If you watch this, I mean, that video was for you as well. But ladies, good night and God bless you. I can't wait to see you all tomorrow because we're going to share some more information with you all because we've got a lot of good stuff. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up for you all, especially if you're just feeling stuck and you're feeling lost and you want to make more of an impact with your life, right? Then you want to make sure you get with me because I'm going to tell you my inner circle is actually almost at capacity, right? It really is almost at capacity. And I'm not going to be able to accept everybody in the inner circle, all right? It's almost at capacity. Ping ta-ta-ta. We're almost at capacity, which is a good thing. But for those of you who build businesses online, if you're an entrepreneur, an aspiring one, or you just want to know how to better your social media production, right? And you want to learn how to even monetize it, I'm going to be teaching a content creator course, and that course starts on February the 2nd. You need to get with me, right? Get in my inbox. Find me on Facebook at Nina Rochelle Moorer. Leave me a message on this video. I promise that I will get back to you all because it is very, very important that if you're going to be on it, you should look good doing it, right? You got to know what's available to you and for you. And I am going to help you walk through that. I'm going to help you understand the very fundamentals of social media in my content creator course that launches February the 2nd. All right. So I'm so excited that all of you decided to join. Listen, if you missed the video on the 4 stages of life that I shared with everyone right now, I want you to go back to the beginning of this video. Make sure that you have subscribed to my channel, right? Make sure that you have subscribed to my channel. And listen, I'll see you all tomorrow, right? Rest well, everybody.